Hi all. Right, as you can see, I'm still staring at Obsession. Um, can't seem to get away from it. I did say I thought I was maybe going to burn myself out here. I came home yesterday and full intentions this time of sitting down with DD at Saipan. Sorry, glare in the window. That's just daylight glare. Sat down, put my lights on, set the camera up, and then I just thought, I've still not. Alas, we still don't have our answers back from the designer on the game. And I just looked at things and thought, well, no, I'm not really feeling that. Maybe because I've stepped away from a bit for a bit. But if I had the answers to the questions, I'd be more eager to sit down and do it. So I looked across here again, and then remembered my frustrations of the last two playthroughs. So I thought, well, why not do it again? Although I say they were frustrating playthroughs, totally enjoyed them, and yeah, that's why I'm going to do another one. So what I done last night was I started again against our lantern worm up the top here. And to be honest, recorded about an hour's worth of footage. Got close to the first. I think I got to the first courtship. I was blethering a bit at the beginning, as usual, and got to the first courtship. It didn't look like things were going that well, but that's not why I stopped and decided to reset. I had posted a question. Now I've got to remember, because I said a lot in my hours video, so I'm not sure if I'm missing things that are, or well, I can't be repeating things, but because you're not going to see that bit, I've just wiped that bit out. I thought I'm going to start again. Anyway, I posted a comment basically asking if anybody had beat this worm, because I sat down and worked out some numbers. Oh yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have seen all this as well. Well, do you need to go out? It's a bit annoying because I'd done all this last night, but obviously you wouldn't have seen it. So whether it's of interest to anybody or not, though, I don't know. Right, we've got a bunch of numbers here and some numbers that I've written down. Let me just remind myself what this was all about. Well, this game here was against the Plantagenet, and I done one of the recordings. My first recording was against them, and it was a great game, very close, and yeah, very close. I'll leave it at that. Try and avoid spoilers. So this was the game that I'd done after, but this was off camera, and this is the best score that I've managed to get. Now remember, the Plantagenet are just base game, extended play base game, not upstairs downstairs. So you're supposed to benefit more. Well, you clearly are if you look at the AI scores, because the Plantagenet, which is the hardest of the AI opponents, his base score is 187. And as we know, that worm is 327. Now, I've got the other two for extended play upstairs, downstairs out here, because this is where I'm actually going to look. And maybe give myself a break. Give myself an easier task. Get a better result maybe. So this is the intermediate, which requires 230 still, and this is the beginner, which requires 203. So you can see that these scores are much higher than the 187. I mean, even the 203s, okay, it's not that much higher, but 230 for the intermediate, and then the ridiculous worm score. But that was the highest score I got. Now, okay, if I got that in any of these against the beginner or the intermediate here, I would win, but here was the game that we played against the worm. I ended up with 213 points. I mean, if you base that on these scores there, I would not have even beaten the intermediate. I would have just beaten the Windsor by 10 points, the beginner one. So yeah, but before I was about to start last night or yesterday, I went through some scores that I thought might be sort of achievable scores. Before I tallied them all up, these were numbers that I'd went through for improvement tile, and I was basing it a little bit on these scores that I just had So I put down 80 for improvement tiles, 60 for gentry. We were poor in gentry there, but you can see these two scores here. I mean, to me, they look really good. Remember, we still ended up with a 261 score. However, they did not have the upstairs, downstairs servants. So you think about making things cheaper with the useful man, using the cook for reputation, bringing other guests along, or using the hall boy to get extra money, and then you've got the housemaid as well. So obviously, this game had none of them possibilities in it. So yeah, and this was a poor gentry score. I think that's where I suffered, not just the most, also objectives. But then again, if you compare the two objectives, however, we score 4 objectives here. No, that would be the same. It's extended play, so they would have scored 4 as well. So maybe that wasn't. So anyway, I put down numbers that I think maybe you should try and achieve. So I've got 80 there, 60 for gentry, 45, I adjusted that a bit. 45 for objectives, because I think you're really looking to get 2 group bonuses. I mean, you get 2 objective card draws, you score 4 objectives. Now, I had a couple of VP cards that could have went and got me extra objectives in that last game, and I think maybe I should have been using them as well to get that. Rep obviously stays the same as 45. Well, assuming you max out, but you should max out, or something's going wrong. Service I put down 28. Now that was obviously one of the better scores I got, because we hired 3 times. So I don't think you're going to get much higher than that. Wealth I put down 10. That's what I got there, which is £2,000 left over. The game that I had last was £1,000, but I put down the 10. And victory points, I've put 19 down. We got a whopping 40 in that game. So I feel like that's possibly achievable, 40. But when you add all these numbers up, I still only get 308. So you've actually got to do even better than these numbers. Now, here's the score of the worm. This is what I considered to be what he would receive coachship in VP. And it was actually the score that happened in my game. Because I reckon you've got to say he's going to get 2 VP cards. He's definitely going to win the last courtship. So he's going to have the Fairchild. So he's going to get the 8 points for the Fairchild. I say definitely. Okay. If you don't draw estate or prestige, then you've got a chance. But I don't know what the odds are for that not happening, but they're not very good, I would say. So my thinking is that's the total that you want, and it could be slightly less than that or slightly more than that. But 308 for the numbers I put down there is still 34 points off that number. So you've got to even improve on these numbers. So it's tough. Certainly nobody's replied saying that they have beat it. I only posted that last night, admittedly. I did get one reply and it got me thinking, and that's why I've decided to scrap the game that I was doing. And the reply was, sorry, can't remember your name. Might have been a Tom. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of guessing there. Anyway, his response was, basically I asked, has anybody beat this? He's not even beat this yet, and this is the intermediate. And then I looked at the intermediate and I thought, wow, 230 points. What was our score in the last game? 212 or something? I thought, we never even beat that. So then I thought, well, why don't you try this, Grant? I mean, I've not tried any of these, and I just jumped in. You know what? I think I was being a bit smug and thought, I didn't think I was going to beat this, but I think I was being a bit smug, thinking I could go in and see how close I could get to this number. Well, you see how close I got. I got nowhere near it. So, and when I started playing Obsession, I obviously started off with the beginner AIs. I think I maybe played one or possibly played 2 of them, thinking I was going to just work my way through them from the sort of lowest number to the highest number. I think then I skipped some of the beginner ones because I found that it was too easy for me, and moved on to intermediate. Now, a game in intermediate, whether I played them all, I might have done. There's not that many of them, so, and the games can go in reasonably quick. So I played through them, and then I thought, right, okay, it's obviously the expert ones I need. And that is challenging. The last 3 games I've had of base Obsession against the expert AI, I've lost, not by a lot, but I've lost. So that's where the challenge went. And as long as I'm getting beat by a lot, I mean, I got thumped here, so that tends to deflate you a little bit and make you wonder. So I think when I came into this sort of extended play side, and then, well, did I not? Would the Plantagenet not be my first extended play? It might have been. Actually, I might be. It's certainly the one that I recorded. Well, to be honest, I have the scores there, so it's possible that was. I mean, that's the only one I've got recorded there. Give me a second. No, I'm talking rubbish. So I've had a bunch, 1, 2, 3 extended games there. Yeah, this was the one I recorded, the Plantagenet one, where the score was 205 to 206. But obviously I've tried a couple of the easier ones first, I think. What was that? Tudor, was it Orange? I don't know. That's obviously the easier one. That must be the intermediate one. And then that's the hard one. So fair enough, I did play through all these. And then I played Plantagenet again and got my best score. So why did I then decide to skip these two and say, right, let's give this worm a go? When I haven't played against these two either, at all. So why did I do that? I don't know. Like I say, whether I was feeling a bit smug and thought, yeah, we can give this a go. Well, now, by playing against this first and this second and then this, is it going to make this any easier for me? To be honest, probably not. It might open up some new thoughts while playing these games and realise that I've found a different strategy or a better move to make over certain other moves. So maybe. So I was going to just go for the Whirligan, however it's pronounced. I was just going to go for that, and then I thought, well, why not? Let's just bring things back a little, and why don't we have a go at the easier one? It looks like you're maybe going to record some more parts of this. So yeah, I'm going to try the beginner extended play of Upstairs Downstairs, Windsor. I'm going to play against this, and if you noticed, you're looking at the estate and the prestige numbers. They're still just as ridiculous as this. Well, in fact, I mean, come on, this is even, well, I suppose it's more about the state. They go 9, 12, 26, 26. And then 4, 12, 18, 24 in prestige. So, again, yeah, you're looking at unlikely of winning the last courtship because of these two. Unless you get lucky and you only draw these 3 from your courtships. That's how I'm seeing that. However, this score is far more achievable than what this score is. So, right, so I'm going to do that, and then if I do another recording, we'll give it a go at the intermediate one, and then maybe then we'll be ready for the worm again. Right, so I've got everything set up for a new game. And yeah, I've drawn my starter cards, haven't looked at them yet. The only thing missing now is the Builder's Market. Now, when I started that game yesterday, that I eventually scrapped, I had thought again about doing the variant where you put the service tiles out. Chose not to do that because I thought, well, I didn't do it in the previous game, so although we got lucky and got service tiles, and the tiles that I drew, I had no service tiles at all, and it was all mainly essentials tiles, funnily enough, that I'd drawn. Got that new business room and had to check up on the rules for that, and eventually worked it out and actually bought that and put it into operation. So I would have liked to have seen how that ended up, but however, well, you never know, we might still see it in this game. Yeah, so I'm not going to do the variant again, although I do see now, I think, that it's a really good variant because the chance of getting the servants' quarters. Every game I played recently, I've had the servants' quarters, so it makes it, yeah, it makes it so much easier. Anyway, I chose not to do it from that first game, so I'm going to stick with that. Be stubborn and stick with that way of playing. So hopefully we do see a service tile or two though this time. Right, so I'll set the market up. Oh, and I always just randomise. You start with 3 monuments. Maybe I never said this. For a 2-player game, isn't it? You follow the 2-player game rules, and you start with 3 monuments, one of which is a sculpture garden, and then it says 2 others of your choice. I always just randomise the other 2. So can't remember what we got. Well, hang on, these are the 3 that are left out. So it must be the marble floor, and it's the other. Is it the maze, garden maze or something? I think garden maze maybe. So I think that's the 3 we've got for this game. Okay, I'll get the market set up. Okay, there's our market set up, right, and before some of you jump in and say, wait now, you can't have that monument there. This was my proxy. I still don't have my replacement for the Gabled Conservatory yet. It's taken a while to get here, but I suppose that's to be expected. Anyway, I'd put this in the bag as a proxy for that extra conservatory. So I know this is going to look kind of ugly, but there we go. Yeah, it's kind of a shame. I'm feeling a bit guilty leaving that out there because the components of this game are really good, and it kind of leaves an ugly taint on the things there. But hopefully we'll get that replacement for it soon. Yeah, it's tile number 85. I can just make that out without having to go and look it up. So yeah, and we can see what it does. 3 ladies. 1, what is it, C4, take 2 casual guests, so that's pretty good. Okay, so again, no service tiles, sorry. And yeah, again, makes me wonder about my stubbornness and not playing that variant, which maybe I should. However, we've decided we're going to try it, so. Right, okay, let's see what our starter guests are. And yeah, I'm just playing the Howard family again and drafting the useful man. It's possible that there's better ways to do it and whatever. I think having the cook is pretty good. The useful man, I think I would pick the 2 all the time, probably. And the fact that this one starts with a cook and you get to draft 1, that means you start with both, so yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with it for now. I don't feel like I'm bored playing the Howard family, shall we say. So okay, the starter guests are Sir Charles. Yeah, seen this guy before. Probably been through them all now, the amount of times I've played. Sir Charles Wadsworth Barnett. Sir Charles, honourable and kind, inherited a family legacy of bad financial schemes. Okay, requires service. Casual guess, 1 reputation. And Terence Whitlow Esquire. Mr. Whitlow has a keen mind and has earned a reputation as a tireless defender of the landed interest. Doesn't require service, £100. So okay, 2 gentlemen though, so got to keep that in mind. No ladies, which means as a starter there we cannot do the front parlour because we've only got the 2 ladies. Yeah, and there's one more thing to do, and I forgot about this in my game yesterday as well, is my adjective cards. So what space to put these? It's because I put the family up there. Hang on, bring this down a little bit for now. So we get 4 objective cards, and we're going to draw another 4 throughout the game, and we're going to discard 4 throughout the game, so we're going to end up with 4. So let's get our 4 cards. Looking for a bit of group bonus, so there's a good starter. 1, 2, 3 service group. Okay. Alright, well, there's plenty of groups for you there, Grant. So, first one is billiards room, kennels, and cabinet of curiosities. So, 2 pretty big tiles to get. Billiards room's pretty big, cabinet's big, kennels is alright. But 17 victory points for that. So, there's nothing in the market as of yet for that, because I think, well, the kennels is probably a cheap one, isn't it? Kennels might be a 2 or a 3. Next one is 1 victory point for each 3 guests. All guests qualify, no family. Okay, so I guess if you did fill your hand up with lots of guests, it might score you a bit. I mean, to get 5 points, you're talking, what, 18 guests? So that's doable, yeah. I dare say you could get more than that as well. Right, next one's the elite service group. It's only 6 points, but it's just the barn and the brushing room. So both of them are pretty decent tiles, to be honest. So I always like having the brushing room. And then the Epicurean group is breakfast room and north dining room required. Well, there you go. There's our first one that we've got to look at. We do have the breakfast room there. It's £600 at the moment. It's not a bad tile, 4 gentry. You could get some guests involved. So that's probably something we should look at, try and get hold of. I wouldn't really say I wanted to grab that for 600, but what I could maybe do is, I know that's risky because the AI could just take it away and then I'm going to look rather foolish, but just feels like an awful lot of money for where it is. And, well, you're only going to get down to 500 grand. My thinking is possibly purchase one of these 2, because the croquet one is cheap. This gets £100 off as well, and then bumping it down a little bit. And who knows, might get lucky. The AI might take one of the 2 as well, and then it'll come down even cheaper. But yeah, that's all based on the roll of a dice. So it could just as easily take that away, and then then we've had it. Okay, well, I can think about it. I definitely want to make some money on the first play, to buy something. I mean, yeah, I can get to 600. I could get to 600 if I wanted to. And I've got the useful man, so there's that as well. Right, so we know our objectives. We know what we're up against. Now, just briefly looking at the first season of courtship. So 0 for essentials. Actually could make that morning room or the breakfast room kind of appealing, because we might be able to get, obviously it's a 0 on that side, but if we were able to run the activity and get up to a 2, then we'd be winning on the essentials, because I'm pretty sure I'm doing the private study. 3 village fairs with a useful man is £1,500 and 6 reps. So, however, we do have this morning room as well, and it would only cost me £200, and I can use 1, 2, or 3 gentry, and it flips into a 1. Not amazing, but that would allow us to win in essentials as well. So, actually thinking that might be what I'd like to do. They've got 3 in service, so, well, we've got no service tile options. Butler's room would flip into a 1, so unlikely. I think we can forget about estate. They're all strong scores actually to start with, aren't they? 4 in prestige and 4 in sporting. Wow. I tell you what, that's a tougher starting season than what the Worm was. Wasn't it? Or were we just lucky? Well, there's the Worm scores there. Well, yeah, a lot of the numbers are lower. Apart from essentials, these are all much better. So it just shows you. Yeah? So this could be a tough first season. This could be one that notice essentials throughout. So there's where you can, again, it's your luck. We draw the 2 essentials courtship cards throughout the courtships, and clearly we could be, well, assuming we do get that 1 point, we could be winning both of them. Unless, of course, the last one turns up at the last season. Yeah, I can't really see myself even, well, the sporting maybe, because we're going to run the Bowling Green, so it's going to turn into a 2, but they're on 4. So what is out there that I'm pretty sure these only turn? Oh no, the croquet lawn turns into a 3. Well, so does the tennis courts. So I think we possibly want to see if we can achieve that and that then before the first season. However, that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4 activities, one of which is going to be the private study. So we've got 3 activities. It would cost us it would only cost us £400 for the morning room and the croquet one. That then does mean that we're forgetting about that breakfast room, so okay. Right, okay, let's get started. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to try. I'm looking for a bit of help from the AI though, because there is kind of 3 tiles that we'd like to get hold of. This. Although, in saying that, it could be this or this. However, this is much cheaper, so this, and that breakfast room I'd like to get hold of. So I'm hoping the AI is not gonna roll low position. Well, because I think I'm going to take this first, basically just because I want both of these, which would be cheaper. The other thing being, we need the footman to run this, and the footman's required to run this, so if I buy this first turn, I'm not going to be able to run it second turn. Although I could intervene and just do the private study then, but so there is that. Right, so no rotating a service, no round track monument stuff to look at. Host activity, going to go to the Bowling Green. And probably just do the usual. I think so. Yeah, I was going to do what I would normally do, guest-wise, and the man of the house and the lady of the house. Obviously, just to get the screen guest and see what it is we get to start off with, in case that changes. So I'm thinking. Okay, so service. Well, we need a footman. We don't need anything else. However, I suppose we should chuck the cook in. Yeah, none of our casual guests starter guests were a 2. I don't know if the starter guests are rep 2. Maybe some of them are. I don't know. Anyway, we've not got 1, so it's not that we need to hold back the cook to run any guests. Yeah, and probably use the useful man to make things much cheaper. Oh yeah, I just realised that. We might take the croquet one then. Because, well, no, Grant, because you won't have the useful man next turn. It's just, I'm going to get it for 200 here. And if it drops down to there, it's going to be 100. I can't get 100 discount. Yeah, but I'm not going to have the useful man next turn, like I've just said. Right. Anyway. Right. So we've provided our service. Let's enjoy our favour. So we get 500. We get 1 reputation from the cook, and we get to screen between 2 casual guests. Let's see what we got here. We get Honourable Winston Hayward, the third son of Viscount Hayward. Winston eschews responsibility and spends his days in sport and society. Not worth any points. He's only level 1, requires service, and is gives £100. So nothing startling. Yeah, likewise. Both starter guests, aren't they? Lady Sarah Lewis. Lady Sarah is well travelled and opinionated. She is always accompanied by her companion. So, well, the fact we got 2 gentlemen starter guests, and this one does not require service, then I'm going to keep her, and we'll discard him. Okay, so what's it to be? Well, we're not going up there. I mean, we could just afford the. What did I do there? I messed about with the volume accidentally there. Hopefully it's not done anything. Yeah, we could, like I say, use a useful man and get the breakfast room. That would be us out of cash. Tennis court, we could as well, but I think it's between these two. And like I've just said, if I was to do this and get this for £100, and then next turn, all going well, this drops down and here it's still there, we'd grab that for £200. Sorry, £100 as well. So we're just keeping the money sort of organised. Now, are we going to be able to run both these if we get them? I think so. I think we should be able to. I mean, this can be 1, 2, or 3 January, and this is 2. So, yeah. Just out of our starter guests, 2 of them give money. There's only 1 that gives another guest. We do have the young lady at the house. She'll give a guest. So. Right, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Just try and keep my money tight. So, discount of 100 for the tile, discount of 100 for the useful man. So, it's only costing me 100. So, 400 back. And, yeah, I'll put him in expended service. And we'll grab the morning room and shuffle everything down. Yeah, my poor gabled conservatory. And refill £800 slot. With drawing room. It's the cabinet we're wanting. Breakfast room. The other half of that's a north dining room, so keep our eyes open for that. Okay, right, so we've got our morning room, so let's tidy things up. That's us done. That's it, and the bowling green flips into a 2, like I say. So, and if we can get the croquet one or the tennis court and run it, we would end up with 5 here. And if we can flip this, we'd end up with 1 here. So we'd be winning in essentials and sport, and I think that's the best we can look to achieve. Another. Well, I said I was going to be struggling. We did draw another lady there, but I've only got 2 ladies. That would flip to a 2, and I dare say that the drawing room would flip. Well, actually, The drawing room on its good side is a 2. But that was someone would be tying. And it's awful expensive. So I can't see myself achieving that. Right, okay, so that's AI now. So there's a couple of rolls we don't want to see here, but I'm not sure what they are, so we'll just roll and see. Rolled 14. Does this in 3? Yeah. Oh. Well, there you go. I took the chance, man. Nine victory points for that. I mean, I don't know. We could have sat there all game and waiting for a North dining room, but I don't know. Was that a mistake? Would you guys have jumped at that and bought that breakfast room right away? I did have the money just to do it. So, right, replacement as fire room. Okay, keeping the tiles quite low, which is quite good. I've just remembered here that we're going to be using a 2 rep tile. Yeah, that's fine because the useful man will be available. Okay, I think that's okay. Right, that's us on to round 2. Nothing on the round track. So push on for the moment. I might be stopping and starting today because some got things that I need to do in between, so there might be a bit of pausing. Right. Rotate service. Round track monument, servants hall, nothing doing there. Right, host activity. So the plan was to do this morning room now, wasn't it? Okay, so remember Grant, you can't touch servants' quarters. It's easy to forget that when you've been playing the last few games and always had the servants' quarters. Okay, so I need the 2 family for the study. One of them will draw a casual guest. Just try to wonder here if no, it's fine. I've got to be careful with the useful man as well, because although recent games I've been passing in the village fair turn anyway, which means that you've got everything available. That's not to say that it will definitely happen here though, but it might. So 2 family, I need to keep the 2 family for the private study. So there's what we've got. So I could use 1, 2 or 3 gentry, and next turn I'm going to buy the croquet lawn and I need 2 gentry. So these are out. This is the only one that would draw me a guest. So I probably want him along. And yeah, I can only use 2 then. Well, because she will draw a guest as well. So hang on. Next turn, I need to do the private study anyway. And then on the village fair turn, that's when I'll do the croquet one. Yeah, okay. So I think that means I can... okay, we're taking a chance with our guests. If we get negative guests, then we're going to have to use them if we're going to follow what we're doing. I'm saying that, I could just do 1 gentry for the morning room and not do the 2. Or 3 for that matter. Because I could do all 3 here, draw a new guest, and then draw a new guest from that in the next turn, and then have 2 guests, but I'd have to use them no matter what. That could be risky. I think I should probably not do that. Well, why don't I run just these two? Yeah. And then you've got the chance. Surely they both can't be really bad. Well, right, okay, I've rotated service, haven't I? Yeah. Right, try morning room. Host activity. Right, I'm going to host the morning room. And yeah, I'm going to bring him along, definitely, to see what we're going to get. And I think I'll just bring one of these. Does it matter? Don't really think it matters. Depends what we're going to draw off this guy, I suppose, but we're not going to know until we've played the cards, so... Right, I'll go with the gentleman. So I think I'll only run the 2. Unless we just go... Well, I don't need the money just now, though. That's the thing. So, why bother? Well, I mean, why even bother running with more than one, Grant? So, like you say, you don't need the money. But I'm more than likely going to have to pass after that round anyway. So, it was just to get the extra use of the cards, I suppose. Yeah, I'll keep the weighted back as a bit of sort of safety, and we'll just run these 2. Okay, so we need the housekeeper, and we can do 1 or 2 or 3 gentry. I'm doing 2 gentry. We need a valet for him. We cannot use the cook, so that's pretty much that. So enjoy our favours. We get £100. And we get 1 reputation from this guy. And we get an unscreened casual guest. Oh, the worry. Right. Let's see what we get. Oh, right, it's okay. And it was the gentleman. Well, we're skipping a turn in between, though. He's a victory point as well. He's pretty good. So, Sir Kenneth Crawley, Barnet. Sir Kenneth has a passion for horses and is heir to a modest estate in the heart of Derbyshire. He's a level 2, so I need to remember that. So I need the cook for him. Okay, so careful you don't use the cook next turn then, Grant. Well, it depends what other guests we get from the other young lady. Anyway, that was good. That was a good result. So... right, and purchase. Okay, that's all our favours. Yeah. Well, obviously the breakfast room's gone now, so we just need to forget about that. Get on with that. Yeah, I'm just going to stick by my plan and go for the croquet one because it's much cheapness. It's only going to cost me 100. And yeah, we'll get that. Yeah, okay. And then get everything sorted down. Tennis court. There's 2 of them, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but maybe when you see it on the camera you can't see that. Right, and then replacement again for the 100 is going to be... That's another... prestige tile. Retirement room. That's one I knew. I was in the Wessex expansion. Ladies repair and relief. 1 lady. It's a lady's maid that goes to that one, and you get 1 rep. Yeah. Just a cheap... Oh, it flips into a 3. That's pretty decent. So good victory points. It's got minus 200 to its cost, so pretty good there. Right, I'll clear things up. Okay, so that's now the morning room flipped to a 1. So we are now, well, I suppose we were winning in essentials with the 3, but we knew we were going to flip that. So we are now winning in essentials throughout the game. So in actual fact, for the first 3 courtships, if essential comes up, then we're happy. So fingers crossed we get at least one out of the first 3. We get at least once. Well, let's just say once. Let's not be greedy, Grant. Okay. That's it. So it's an AI roll. I'm not sure we're bothered anymore. The breakfast room went. So right, let's see what we get. Rolled a 20. So that's no purchase. And I've took the numbers, the doodads away, didn't I? Hang on. No, sorry, I'm playing the other game. I'm playing the Solo Estate Challenge. What is it? It's refresh. Refresh and buy. So it's refresh and then it rolls again, isn't it? Aye. Okay. So refresh. Hopefully I remember this right. We discard all these, or we set all these aside. We then refresh the market, doing it as in tile sorting order number. Now we're not restricted by the start of the game where you've only got 1, 2, 3 reputation tiles. So just anything that comes out. This could be good. To be honest, we might see some service. And then once we've refreshed, all these go back in the bag. So I'll switch this out again for that, because I can't put that in the bag, obviously. So that'll be counting for the Gable Conservatory again. So we'll set all these aside. And right, I'll pause and set it up. Okay, I was just about done there, and nice to see we've got some service. We've got 3 service tiles: brushing and barn, carriage house, which is fine. And then the last tile I drew, so that's 3, 4, and then 5, and then the last tile I drew was this again. And I'm just wondering if I should be playing with these. It looks like I've got all 4 of these in, because they changed this. Because this is like dismissing a guest if you flip it, and this is totally different. I mean, I did follow all the sort of guides to how you set things up. I'm just wondering, because how do I... These are obviously going to be stacked together as a duplicate, but when I purchase, I might want to, you know what I'm saying, they're different. So should I have both of these in, or should I not? I've obviously got 4 of these in the game. I think I get the feeling I read that it was okay to just add them all, but I suppose you could say, well, if you do purchase them, you get to choose the one you purchase. Just need to check the back of them and find out which one you'd prefer. Maybe? Does that seem... You know what? Rather than look up rules and things, I'll go with that. It's probably not a huge big deal, is it? Although it could be a reasonably big deal, because it probably means I've got 4 of these in the bag and I should only have 2. So that's more the sort of concern that... But then is that a big deal as well? I don't know. Okay, I'll just do that, and if anybody watching wants to say how this should be, if I've got this wrong, if I should just have one or the other in the bag. Seems like that might be the case, to be honest. But I'll leave it for now. I don't think it's a game breaker. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I still need one more tile. So let me get that. Stocked Lake. That's a big one. That's a high sporting one, isn't it? Right, okay, I'll get them set up in the builder's market. Okay, there we go. So nice to see some service. Obviously one of my favourites, the brushing room there. I'd like to get, but we do still have a roll of the dice because they still have to buy. So okay, let's see what it's going to be. 16. That's hopefully a high up. Position 4. Position 4 is a West Saloon. Which, yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't... Essentials, they score nothing in Essentials whatsoever. 7 Gentry, mind you. It's a nice sort of finishing move. Formal gathering. Anyway, it's away. And that's the point. Did anything turn up? Oh yeah, we want the barn and the brushing room for that group bonus. I mean, it's not a terribly great victory point score, to be honest. I'd like to try and be getting the likes of this. And of course we just lost out on this. Well, there is another title of it, but right, let's replenish that £800 slot again with music room. Do we not have the music room? Maybe. No, don't think we did. Right. Well, actually, should I put these back in before I drew? Maybe should have done. Ugh, it doesn't matter, does it? Well, what I'm saying is I've still got the set aside tiles. I'm going to put them back in the bag now. I'm not sure if I should have done it before he bought one. Nah. Yeah, it's done now. It's done now. I'm not going to try and rewind that one. Okay. Well, that was interesting, I guess. Yeah, I think it was probably quite good for us. So, on to round 3. I think I might take a break there. Yeah, I got to take a break there. So I might just cut this now. I know that's us only starting the 3rd round, which might mean that this video series might turn into 5 parts. Well, I'll see. I might just pause it and add a bit more to this. But if I don't, I'll be back with part 2 shortly. Okay, cheers.